One Night Only is a new rom-com, although I never felt the rom, and there's a hell of a lot less com, with an out there concept. As part of a government mandate, on one night a year, single people are legally allowed to have sex. I'm late to the party, but this movie has only just been released over here. I've tried to not encounter reviews, but my capacity for that has been limited. I knew that I probably wasn't going to enjoy this. Alas, I thought this could be an entertaining train wreck to observe. Joke's on me then, I guess. This is boring and dull. Apologies for how this review is going to turn out, but this is one where I felt completely apathetic in the cinema. I can hardly remember it already. The movie features a bunch of well-worn, or worn out to be more accurate, comedic tropes in the moment. The only one I can vividly remember is the child spewing foul language. The child in question isn't a character in the actual narrative, sans a scene in the final moments, who keeps cussing or saying overtly sexual stuff because it sounds quote-unquote funny. He's just kind of there, no real character to him. Now, it's no issue for a character to only be there for a gag, especially in a lowbrow comedy, but there's a degree to it. The dialogue is grating, beating the dead horse that is the foul-mouthed child convention, without putting a unique spin on it. Especially for a running gag, this is entirely annoying, but I didn't like the comedy at all in this movie, so that's something. I don't think Callum Turner and Monica Barbaro are given any substance on the page. They're both charming actors elsewhere, but this script, or at least this version of the script, as previous versions had topped the blacklist 2 years in a row, so something's clearly gone wrong during the actual making, does no favours. There's nothing to endear the audience to them. It tries, with both Turner's Owen and Barbara's Ali looking for love on this night, but it lacks anything more than that motivation. Pizza maker or self-conscious singer are not the characteristics in the way the script thinks they are. It's shallow characterization. My main flaws with the characters may come from flaws, or more likely, the lack of them. The two main characters lack any sizable flaws which could otherwise offer an opportunity for banter. Instead, their back and forths lack charisma because there's nothing specific for them to talk about. The conversation bounces to and fro in a series of dull one-liners and quips, either being about the mandate or some nebulous thing about each other. Hence, the dialogue is lacking. This movie also looks like something that would have gone straight to streaming. There's no colour, it's a smooth, grey, digital eyesore. Slap on some Blender-style editing with ridiculously short average shot lengths, so much so that it's distracting, and this movie just doesn't feel right. It feels uncannily wrong. It doesn't look like a real movie, and this is the type of thing that's being released in cinemas. Alright, I've stalled long enough. Now to talk about the concept. The fascistic state this movie takes place in is treated simultaneously as a serious issue and joke. People keep bringing it up as it is an all-encompassing oppressive force on the characters. However, for every damnation of the mandate, there seems to be some sort of admiration for how it changes people's relationship with sex. There's even a line which goes a little like, "Maybe the fascists were right on this one," which is so dystopian given the current cultural landscape and the state of affairs we find ourselves in globally. It even touches briefly on the pride of being an incel during a news broadcast. Strange doesn't even begin to describe the messaging in this movie. I don't know what's being attempted here. The outlawing of sex comes with more questions which only distracts from the actual viewing experience, like how do they enforce the mandatory protection, what's to do with brushing this under the rug as for its darker connotations, why is everyone so down to clown with no prospects of rebellion? I want a good, old-fashioned rom-com, not something like this bizarrely somewhat pro-fascist ideologies stemming from an overly complicated conceit. This movie made me feel nothing in the moment, so much so that I was on the verge of falling asleep. It's not just that it's nonsensical, which don't get me wrong, it really is, but it's not even an entertaining train wreck to observe. I wasn't expecting much, and yet this was so much worse. One Night Only. 0.5 stars. And now it's time for spoilers. This isn't a substitute for watching the film, so I suggest watching it first, before continuing. I only have one thing to say here. Why is the mandate treated as some romantic thing? It changed the meaning of sex because Big Brother is watching constantly. Owen and Ali don't even do it on the night, as a middle finger to the mandate, in the final moments of the film, opting to know each other instead, but even that comes with holes. They play into the hands of the fascistic rule, but the film tries to make it look cute and endearing. It just didn't need to have this concept. Even the punk rocker character says that the mandate has made intercourse more romantic. What even is this movie? I really don't get it. It just settles for appeasing the fascists. This is a dystopian story if the characters gave up and lived happily ever after. It fails as a rom-com because it's not romantic, and as a dystopian story by finally deciding that the dystopia is pretty chill actually. The connotations are more troubling than the movie itself. I must reiterate that I was fully emotionally numb during the watching of this. All thoughts which have been written down come from having to rack my head for a few words. Well, that's all. Keep on watching movies and form your own opinions. See you in the next one.